What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to 3-Star Draw. I am Down South 77. This is an adult collector channel where we talk about G.I. Joe, primarily G.I. Joe Classified, and once in a while we'll take a look at some other stuff that I like and collect, and I like to show you guys when I pick it up. Today we are back to G.I. Joe, though, because I finally got my Mezco Firefly. I ordered this thing back in January, and I ordered it from BBTS. Mezco was pre-orders were sold out, but he was still available on BBTS. They usually sell out there too, and so I went ahead and ordered him because I knew I had to have him. And they started shipping, and I was actually kind of excited because I've discovered through watching other people that sometimes BBTS will actually ship before Mezco does. So I got real excited thinking, maybe I'll be one of the lucky ones this time. Nope, Mezco actually shipped them out almost 2 weeks before BBTS did. So it's not like I was expecting mine to be the first review on YouTube for it, but it would have been a lot cooler if it was. But that's the way it goes when you play the toy review game. Anyway, so we're going to get him out, take a look at him. I'm going to do this video a little bit differently because there's already been better videos done than what I'm going to be able to do. So I'm just going to take him out of the box, kind of show that. I'm going to show the stuff that he comes with, get that stuff out. We'll kind of look at it. And then I'm going to kind of put him together, and I will go back to it and show it at various stages of assembling him or putting his gear on him. And I'll make sure that I highlight any areas that I have trouble with, because I have seen in a video or two that his jumpsuit and his cloth goods can kind of get in the way on this guy because he comes with a ton of stuff. So that's kind of how I'm going to do this one. I don't really feel the need to do a full step-by-step unboxing on him, because if you're interested in him, you've probably seen him. So I'm just going to, like I said, show stages of getting him out and putting him together, and we're going to do it my way. All right, get a look at the box here before I get him out and turn on all this extra lighting so it does not glare. This is a good look at the back at all of the stuff he comes with. He comes with a ton of stuff, so I've been waiting to get this guy out. You know, I've been waiting on this figure for months, so it's time to do it. There is your Mezco. If you've never seen one of those, if you want to pause that, that's what comes in the Mezco figures for guidelines on how to care for your Mezcos. You got to be careful when you take these things out. Everybody that's done a Mezco review, and there are people that have done far more of them than I have, will tell you to be extremely careful when you get them out, because stuff goes everywhere. Like what a lot of our figures that are more on the expensive side need. They all need instructions. Looking at you, Mythic Legions. I think all of these companies like this probably ought to come with some stuff. So can't really see a whole lot there. Is look at all of the hands. Make sure there's nothing taped or stuck on there. And I do like how they put this little paper and stuff in here, this plastic in here, keep him where he's kind of separated. Flip on some more light here. Alright, that's a little bit better there. So I did move my background stuff around, and it was then that I realized I still somehow do not have a Cobra banner to hang back there. So I'm going to have to fix that issue. But just take a look at him real quick. See what the face sculpt looks like on him, because that's one of the things we're all interested in on this figure. You can see there all of the cloth goods. Feels really good. I mean, really faithful recreation of the camo. Sleeves are a little long, and that's probably going to be a bit of a problem swapping hands out, but maybe not too bad. So moves really well out of the package. You do have to be careful with these guys when you're posing them, because this is the main complaint with some of the Mezcos, is that bunches up and kind of puts some stress on the whole jumpsuit there. So that is one thing to keep in mind when you pose these guys. They do have double jointed knees. You just don't get a whole lot with that top part of the double joint. All of your slack in the jumpsuit seems to be down here with him. You can get them into some fantastic poses. The arms have a little bit better, I guess, slack in the sleeve there than the legs do. So I'd just like to see what he looks like coming out there. Let's set him. Does he still show up right there? Yeah, he still shows up right there. So we're going to move this stuff. And here is the part where I am going to just kind of show what all is there. And I'm going to start getting this stuff out. Okay, I was thinking, oh, look, there's something there that's not in there, but that's the goggles. So all of these different types of hands. There's the drone, backpack. And let's see if I can do this. And here's the rest of his stuff. All of his pistols, the dynamite, the blast effects, all of his phone and magazines, all the little grenades. He has a ton of little things that you can lose, so you have to be super careful when you open this guy up. So I'm gonna go ahead and get some of this stuff out. And nobody does packaging like these guys does either. There's his stand, same one Destro comes with. Set that over here out of the way. We're not going to need that for a little while. Very carefully. Sorry, I'm sure that is loud. Hit the mute there just in case. So have all of his weapons. You can see that a little bit better there. And this actually does have a little encasement on top of it to keep all this little tiny stuff from falling out. He's got so much stuff that he comes with. I mean, it's just amazing the amount of stuff. So I'm gonna go ahead and start attempting to get some of the stuff out and kind of gear him up, and we'll check him out. So all of this with him is definitely a process. You can get a little better look at all of this little tiny pieces that he comes with. So I am definitely looking at the instructions. So his chest harness is removable if you want to take that off, in case you don't want all of his gear on him, all of his stuff on him. You can take this off. So he does have the belt here. The pouches are removable on the side. Some of them, these, so that one and that one, you can actually pop some of these off so you can put some of his other stuff on, and his leg holster should go up and clip on, and so should this, these are, I believe, explosives that actually are not removable. About the only thing on him that's not, and those should go up and clip onto the belt. So I'm going to make an attempt to sit here and try to get some of this stuff on him and check that out. So the belt is the little buckle that we've seen that you flip around, and does take some doing, but these actually buckle in a whole lot better than anything we've seen from Hasbro. as far as those little snap buckles going in, so you can spin it around, and that's kind of how the belt goes on him. And then these pouches and things are removable, so we'll go ahead and see if we can get his holster and his explosive clipped in there. We got the explosives mounted on that one. Spin it just a little bit. It doesn't look like the buckle sets right in the middle, so his holster, just put his leg through it and slide it up. It's got these two straps here. We'll go up like so, and then this clips on. And it actually, so far as I can tell, this actually goes in there and stays in there pretty well. We have a lot of trouble with the clip system like this that Hasbro's done. So you can see where he can get to his pistol. You can move this down a little bit so there's a little more resistance there, but one thing I've seen other people talk about is with these clipped in and you move the legs, they don't hold real tight, but they do hinder it a little bit. Not too bad. You're still going to have most of your flex in these bottom parts of the knees. I wish you could get a little bit more, because I mean he's a saboteur. You're going to have him bending over doing stuff like he's planting bombs or hiding behind cover when he's trying to get away, something along those lines. But I did want to show that after I experimented a little bit and got the first one on. Pull them up a little bit. So they do kind of, the inside buckles do kind of sag, and there is a system in there that allows it to function like an actual buckle, like you're taking slack out of it. You don't have to do anything, it does it automatically. Just thought it was cool how they do that with the elastic straps. So get that on him. Now comes for the fun part. I'm gonna see if what I can do to get some of these other little things on him, clipped on him. He also has knife sheath. This is his wrist communicator, and it's going to go on the same way, but I'm going to wait just a second before I put that on, because I'm going to change his hands, put on some trigger finger hands. This is on the floor. That's the big knife sheath. Very easy to do that with these. Not a whole lot of slack on that. I'm assuming this is the one that goes on his boot, but I don't know how you're ever going to get enough slack in it to go through there. I'm going to have to, I don't know if it's picking up. I'm thinking I'm going to take a toothpick and stretch those out and try to slip it over there. Let's try that. Yes, he does not come with the toothpick accessory, but this is, thought that might be an easy way to do it, and honestly it's taken me 4 or 5 minutes to do that, so that seemed like the easiest way. These do fit really tightly around the boot, trying to get them on there, and now it's going to bother me like big time because that is that is crossed. So all right, so we got those on there, and they do have notches in the boot for that, and this one has it too, so you can use the sheath on each side. that'll be interesting seeing how that is when you start posing him and stuff, but it's not going to affect the bottom of the foot and affect his standing or anything. But so if you have this guy and you're wondering how these extremely tight straps go around, use like a toothpick, or if you got like maybe a jeweler's screwdriver, like a watch battery screwdriver, real thin, that will work too. But you will definitely need something to stretch that over the boot and slip it on. Definitely gonna need it. And I know I need to trim my fingernails, but I hate trimming my fingernails, and I thought that it might come in handy for this video. So alright, let's see what's next. Decided I want to go ahead and change his hands, so go ahead and look at the multitudes of hands here. Those look like trigger hands. I'm trying not to dump all of these out, so yep, there those are. Yep, looks like he's got gripping hands, beckoning hands. He's got the splayed hand, which I actually like, but I want to try some other ones out before we do that. I'm trying to keep track of all this different stuff, so see if we can get his. All right, it come out pretty easily. It went back in pretty easily, so you can slide the sleeve up there. And actually, this is how I roll a lot of times. I have to wear long sleeves for work, and I push them up like that. So I doubt Firefly is going to do that, but down south does. I'm really glad that the hands come off that easy, because the Mezco ball joints for the hands are really tiny. And they do have the wrist, articulation, so you have to kind of be a little bit gentle with them, because you don't want to bend it, flex it too much. I know I've seen people that have done that and have actually snapped that peg before. I think that was one of the bigger issues with some of the earlier Mezcos. Before I was really ever messing with them, they had some QC issues, and I remember hearing that was one of them. So he does have wrist sheaths for his knives, and I only see 2 knives over there, but he does have 2 of these, so I don't know if one of them is an extra. So I'm going to put this one on the right hand, and I'm going to use our toothpick method here and see if it works. It really did take a couple minutes to get this perfect. I don't like dead air when I do this, where I'm not talking, but it actually takes a little bit of concentration when you're doing these, because this piece keeps moving around. So it's a little bit frustrating. And then you got to make sure that your sheath is facing the right way too. And now I've got it. I've got him like he's going to shoot with the sheath. There may be a more efficient way to do this, but I had a toothpick in here already, so come on, man. Work with me, Firefly. Okay, so we got that on there. Alright, so all of these little accessories and stuff, I mean, they make the figure really cool, but you kind of pay for it a little bit while you're doing this. So this one does not fit nearly as tightly as the ones on the leg do. So it's going to be more like further up on his elbow. I can see this. You do a lot of posing with this guy, this is going to fall down. I've seen another review that mentioned this. Just to see what it looks like. The little knife stays in there pretty well. I was worried about it maybe falling out, but when you push the knife in, that goes down. So I don't know if I'm going to leave that on him, because you really want it on the wrist for it to look cool. I mean, I guess if he's just sitting on the shelf, but I just don't like how loose it is. So I'm going to pull that back out for now. And then on the other side, if I can find it, is this thing here. This is his wrist communicator. And this flips up. A little keypad in there. So he can remotely detonate stuff, I'm sure. And looks like, I'm trying to figure out, yeah, I mean, it's going to have to go that way. So we're going to go ahead and try and slip that on there and see if all this is working all right. We'll go ahead and see if we can get this one on the same side with our toothpick method. You might not need it as much with the hand, because all you got to do is get it started. And I just pulled the cover off of it. So that goes on there, and it is catching on the sleeve. So we're going to have to get it up past the sleeve, because the sleeve is bunching up under it. So this one does fit a little bit tighter than the sheath does. See, this thing's already, I'm probably, much as I like the look, I might wind up taking this off. If it falls all the way down there, it's not going to fall off of him. I just don't like the way that looks so far down on his cuff. Now the flare on the bottom of his wrist does prevent it from falling off, and I know on the other Firefly, on like the classified, it is closer to the wrist, so I guess that's what they're going for. I just don't like it falling down like that. So let's see. Make sure that is actually meant to where that can come out of there. We'll find out, I guess. That may have broke. Pulling that out. I hope not. I was pulling on it trying to get the thing on. I might have just broken that. It's actually really hard to see because it's so small. Yeah, I think yep, right there, it's silver. I was trying to pull this thing on there and that cover came loose and broke the cover for his keypad. I'm assuming. Don't know where that little piece went. Probably never see it again. Well, that is, well, let's see, maybe. I can't see it well enough. So it snaps, but I don't understand. So it snaps on there, but where does the actual piece go? So it actually is a hinge. Okay. Oh, maybe not. I didn't break it. Hey, what do you know? I didn't realize that little piece was a hinge right there, little peg at the bottom. And it does just pop in there. But man, once it pulls out of there, I don't know. Honestly, I can't tell if I broke it or not. It still fits in there and it still does move, but it's awful loose now. I don't think I broke it. I think it just fits in there extremely loose. So I may take and put a little tiny drop of super glue on that, because the hinge is really tight. So maybe I just popped it out of there. I don't know. But so that's one thing to watch out for when you put the put his communication detonator thing on his wrist. Make sure you're not trying to pull it on there by the hinge. So we'll set that over there for now. Okay. Yep, me too, Firefly. Me too. The next thing I want to talk about is his backpack and his harness. This is where he holds the drone. And these actually have tiny, tiny little buckles here that go on here. So this is gonna be interesting. But thing looks really, really nice. Go ahead and take a look at it before trying to attempt to put it on him, because that's gonna be easier. So there are all of his munitions on his cross straps that go over his chest. He has this piece here, and we're gonna attempt to put that on him now. I don't know, I might have should have done this before the belt. I don't know, we'll see. All right, I had to go get an additional work light, and I'll take that away in just a second. But this is an actual buckle here, and it is maddeningly frustrating to get it buckled. And now his arm is starting to be hindered by that a little bit, but I could not see this at all. I could not see that, and it's got to plug into there. So I had to go get an extra light to be able to see it. So that's what I'm trying to do, and I'll give it a couple tries here before I do it off cam. I just wanted you guys to see what you got to go through, because he doesn't really look right without the chest harness, I don't think. But and it is stretchy. I mean, it has give to it, but it's just so small. Like, this buckle is tiny. And I knew there was going to be some stuff like this, so I mentioned my nails are so long. I knew it was going to be like this, so. But you guys can see, like, it is really, really, really frustrating trying to get this little buckle in here. Okay, I'll be back eventually. Okay, finally. Get that out of the way. So yeah, see how much difference that makes when you're right up on it. So they go in there. They do go in there rather securely. They fit. I mean, I don't feel like they're going to pop loose. It don't really seem like they're going to come out. But man, getting them in there was an absolute nightmare. But now he looks more like our Firefly, doesn't he? He looks more like what we think when we picture Firefly. So I do wish the backpack was removable in some way. So, and this does flip open. Got his toolkit in there. Nice detail on that. It looks great. Looks like he's got a sawzall blade or something in there. So it looks really neat. I just wish that it was removable from the harness. It just seems like it really ought to be. So I'm going to go ahead and actually we're gonna look at real quick some of his other stuff that was in this little tray. So there's his weapons. We'll look at those in a minute. It does come with this. I love this. These sticks of dynamite here that he comes with. Firefly should have these, and they do have a little screen on them that's, you know, in his little keypad that I broke, where he can detonate these. But very nice detail. I like the one that the Cobra Island Firefly comes with. So those are even more detailed. Comes with this little tablet, and I can't tell what's on it, but maybe we can see it on screen. Can't actually tell if that looks like that may say something, but anyway, it's similar to CoverGirl's tablet. There. So that's kind of what it looks like. So you got the big knife for the boot. Has a walkie-talkie here for him. Nice camo on the walkie-talkie as well. Oh, so he does. Okay, it was underneath it. There's the second knife for the second sheath if you want to try to put that somewhere. So there's a spare magazine. The pistol magazine I don't think comes out. No, it looks like the pistol magazine is fixed, which is good. Comes with all these extra mags, and this is all stuff I think that you can put in his pouches here. I'm probably not going to, just because I don't want to lose it. But he comes with several types of grenades, and all of these can clip on. Actually, that one can't clip on. But yeah, see, you bounce this this plastic too much, and this stuff is gonna go everywhere. So you got to be extra careful. I like the detail in these. They kind of look like some of the grenades they used in the cartoon. It's hard to even show them because they're so small. So, and he has a bunch of other little pouches that you can clip on in various spots. So that is an actual clip there. And you can clip those onto his jumpsuit or on here on his belt, stuff like that. I really would like to use some of the grenades, but if they don't clip on, I don't think I'm going to. Then he's got a couple other different grenades here. These little pouches here that I'm guessing are plastic explosive. They're not really pouches, but I mean, nice paintwork on them, nice detail. Never mind my finger there that I cut earlier. So that's some of the other things that he does come with. Of course, he's got some blast effects here, kind of a yellow. I like this longer port for the blast effects. That's what we need in some of these. These need with the classified. So they're not really flexible. They're not bendy because these aren't meant to be made for 4 and up, like Hasbro tells us. Take a look at the clear smoke trails for the drone there, of course. We're going to get that out in just a minute. So I'm trying to set stuff over here that we're going to show him with. And so we got the little car here. So here's his little RC car, and this is cool. The wheels actually roll. And then here is the hover drone. The fans actually spin. The turbines for it actually spin. So I'm gonna have to take a good look at how all of that goes together. And we'll be right back. Okay, folks, that was an ordeal. Hey, here's another magazine over here that I didn't even know was over there. What does that go to? All right. So let's look at the backpack. This was very, very frustrating with the backpack and the drones. I actually had to go and watch a video. I went back and I looked at this section of Lawrence at Punk with Toys. I actually looked at this section of his video because I was so dumbfounded. So I'm going to show first, okay, whether you can tell or not, this is the backpack closed up with all of his drones and stuff in there. I'm going to show you the instructions. So, backpack. Drones store inside of backpack. Rover stores at back of backpack. Right? Really simple. There's the flying drones on the sides. That is not the way that shows, and they appear to have a plug here. That looks like a plug, right? Looks like a plug to me. Looks like some of these buckles we've been messing with. I'm sitting here trying to follow the instructions and plug this in somewhere because that is what it shows. But turns out you use that little sprocket for the fan and you pop it in that groove there. And it does not go in very easily. It has this piece here to catch it, and I'm not thrilled with how it fits in there, but it may be because this moves. It's meant to move. It does seem somewhat secure. I'm just not thrilled about how that goes in there, and I'm really not thrilled about the fact that the instructions show it going an entirely different way. So open the backpack. There is the rover. Once again, the rover, it shows going up. So I've been sitting here going, okay, well, that kind of works, but there's nothing to clip anywhere. And then I'm like, wait a minute. So you actually have to put it in that way. It all goes together seemingly well, but the instructions are a little bit off with it. So while we are working on that and looking at that, we're going to go ahead and look at these. Do these drones. This I have not done yet. I did not practice with these. That is very, very okay. Like, man, if I snap that tab too, so they plug in there. And where'd my other one go? I do like these. I don't know how, if I'm gonna like it and use it on the shelf. I don't know. That does look pretty sweet where he's launching his drones there, and you have his wristband up that he's looking at to control them, or you can use his tablet to control them. However you want to use it, it's your Joe-verse. So probably the tablet. I have a drone. I control mine with the tablet. I don't have a fancy launcher. So I kind of like that look there, where he's looking at the tablet. That actually looks pretty cool. And of course you can spin these around. I do actually like this more than I thought I was going to. The little RC car is just kind of a bonus. The classified one come with one. So if you want, you can stick this one back in here. And one thing that I've noticed is this tab here. This little pin right here, it goes in that hole right there, but it does not really go in that hole. I've not gotten it to pop all the way in there since I've been fooling with the car. I barely got it to pop in there with none of the stuff on the backpack. So just keep that in mind, but it is solid. I mean, it's not gonna move. It just bugs me that the little tab won't go in there. So I do kind of like that look with the little drones there. They're kind of neat. I think that's a nice inclusion for this figure. So he does have the collapsible stock on his SMG, and it is a little bit weathered. You can see the paint apps on there. He's been banging it on stuff. He's had his hand around that handle a whole lot, and it's not the same on each side. So do have removable magazines, so you have extra magazines for it, where you can maybe show him changing magazines if you want. This is bullet at the top, bullet at the top. Always like when they do that. And it also shows you which way to put these things in there too. But I always like the inclusion of putting the bullets in on the magazines. So I want to put this one in his hand. See if we can get his finger on the trigger, because these guys, if you don't have their a way to get their finger on the trigger, then to me, if it's a character that uses a weapon and you can't get the finger on the trigger, then that is a fail. And this guy definitely uses a weapon. So it goes down on there. Now this little knife sheath thing kind of gets in the way. I'm probably going to wind up taking that one off. I like the way it looks on there. But got the collapsible stock. Trying to see if I can get him into where he's kind of hindered a little bit by the jumpsuit. Where he's using the magazine to steady his fire. Not really aiming really much right there, is he just kind of pray and spray. Spray and pray. However you want to say. Hey, you can do it your way today. I just may. So this one does have a bullet flying out. That I like that. I don't think that one looks all that great. I like the idea of being able to see the bullet. That will be cool if you can do some photography with it with different effects. That looks way too big for that gun. Maybe this one will be just right. That one looks pretty good. I think the small one is more for his pistol. And then also, if you want to make it really look like it's Firefly, you can do that. And then that has a port. That one goes in a whole lot tighter. But there we go. So that looks pretty good. Now, you're gonna have to work around with the jumpsuit and the joints and stuff, and kind of play around with it and get it to where, you know, maybe you can get him in a little more natural looking of a firing pose, but it's gonna be able to be done. Especially if he's just, you know, that looks, get that hand up a little bit. That looks pretty good. And then all of a sudden he's like, oh no, I'm out of bullets, even though there's still a bullet in there. Wouldn't be firing anymore at that point, would it? Ooh, that does go in there snugly. Be careful with that. So you get him changing magazines. I'm sure you can stick this magazine somewhere. I'm not going to sit here and fool around with it and do it right this second. So there's that stuff. Let's take a look at his pistol. Let's have that nice silver ejection port and silver tall rear sight. And be the maybe the safety right there. No, not the safety. That's probably, nope, same on both sides. Either way, silver on both sides. You can see it. All right, so that shows you that his barrel is polished all the way through. Slide and polished barrel. That thing's coming. It's in the way. It doesn't look good enough to warrant the pain in the ass that it is. I don't like the way his thumb particularly is on this hand. And I just realized that. I did not know that. His slide actually moves on that. I forgot that part of the review that I watched. I completely forgot that. And it's not that loose either, so that's nice right there. He's out. I'm out. And I said these magazines were fixed on the pistol. They're not. I just didn't have a good enough grip on it. The fact that the slide was empty, or the slide can go back, showing that he's empty, that kind of made me think maybe I didn't try hard enough. So you can have him with that, and like he's just ejected his pistol mag, and then he's getting ready to grab another pistol mag to pop in there. Just be really careful and make sure it doesn't fall through. Seems like maybe one of those other sets of hands is a better. Nope, those are gripping hands. Might as well show these a little bit here. There's his beckoning, all clear, halt hand. Nice detail on the gloves, on the open palm, and on the back where he's got the armored around it. And then he's got, this is the one I like, but I also like him holding his weapons, is the splayed out hand. So a lot of ways to go with this guy as far as posing him with his accessories go. See how, now that I know that slide moves, kind of apprehensive about putting it in this holster, because this thing's kind of, this holster's kind of a hard plastic. Let's see if we do that. And that popped loose, but that's all right. I don't like how much trouble this is. There we go. All right, we got it in there. And then that went back together pretty nicely there. We do need to put a magazine back in his pistol, because Firefly wouldn't be Firefly going around with an unloaded sidearm. That slide did. Okay, so slide did push back, but so all right. So that goes in. He looks pretty good. He's got a. Whoop. Now let's take a look at these goggles. A lot of people don't like them. Say looks like the Riddler from the Batman. So let's find out for ourselves, shall we? Yep, looks like the Riddler. I do like the eyes though. That's nice. They're actually reflective. They're like a translucent red, I guess. They're okay. I don't love them, so I can see people's apprehension for them. So I think we've shown most everything except for his other heads. And there's not a whole lot of difference in these from everything that I have seen. How would you like for your job to be the guy that's got to wrap these little heads and stuff the rest of the bag up in the hole for the neck peg? So let's see what the difference is in these, if any. So this one, the one on the left there, looks like maybe the wound is a little brighter. I mean, obviously he's got the one eye open, left eye open, you know, like he's cautious or something, and then both eyes squinted and furrowed brow, like he is really pissed off or really concentrating, maybe arming a bomb. You can see the nose. I'm trying to tell. You can't really see his lips through the baklava. So they look good though. There's not a whole lot of difference in these and these versus the one that comes on him. They're very, very similar. I'm glad they went with the really scarred head from the Cobra Island. Let's see which one of these. I like this one. Like he's getting ready to lose it. That went on pretty smoothly. All right. You guys seen pretty much everything. Showed you all his accessories, all his different hands, all of his stuff that he comes with, toothpick not included. What do you guys think about him? Do you guys buy Mezcos? Did you pick him up? Are you gonna pick him up? Did my review influence you in one way or another to pick him up? Just like to know what you think about him. I like him. There's a whole lot there. A whole lot to lose. All of this stuff will be going in a bag. There's no way I'm going to put all the little bitty pieces on him on the shelf. I wish there was really somewhere for him to where these clipped on somewhere, but it doesn't look like there's really anywhere for him to hold them. This is more for like a diorama for photography or something. I'm gonna have to glue that little piece back on. That's really the only big issue that I've seen with him, is that cover come off of his little keypad mechanism there, and so be careful with that. But I'm getting ready to clean him all his stuff back up and go find a bag to put some of this in immediately. Never put his big knife in his sheath either, did I? And I'm going to find a spot for him on the shelf next to Destro. So, guys, that is pretty much all she wrote for this one. I appreciate you guys stopping by. If you like this, I appreciate you hit that thumbs up, that share, that subscribe, all that good stuff. Tell me what you think about this Mezco Firefly. I'm interested to see what people that didn't pre-order him yet think about it and whether or not they're going to pick it up. He is very frustrating, and I wish he had more range of motion in the legs. The arms are fine. The arms seem to be fine, but the legs, that top part of the double jointed knee is just about useless with the jumpsuit. It pulls it too much, and you're gonna probably wind up ripping it. So those are really my only complaints with this figure. I think he was worth the wait, and he's definitely worth the money because he comes with so much stuff. So anyway, till next time, I will see you guys later. This is 3 Star Draw.